Hey there, mother lovers, and welcome to a brand new episode of Last Call at McLaren's. I am Josh Rayner here with my best bud, John. How you doing, man?
I am great. Happy as always. Coming off the fact that we just recorded another episode, but we're still here.
That's right. We're doing double duty, but you guys will only see them one at a time. Sorry.
You know what I just realized? We're both wearing blue shirts for this episode.
Representing the blue. I don't know what that means, but we're doing it.
2x2, hands of blue.
It's true. If I had a blue rubber glove, I'd hold that shit up, but I don't. All right. So, as you can see on the bottom banner, today we're talking about Season 1, Episode 6, The Slutty Pumpkin. That's right. This is a big episode, guys. It's big.
This is one of the mile setters, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, John, real quick before we get into it, what before rewatching, what were your memories of this episode? Like, how
honestly,
vivid?
This is one of the few episodes that I can almost 90% rectile. I'm going to mess up dialogue throughout the way, but I remember most of this episode from beginning to end because this is one of the ones that I have watched so many times.
Yeah.
Not only have I watched this, as we will get to later on in the episode, I have tried the Tootsie Roll. It's one of my favorite suit up moments. I mean, so many great things happen in this episode that will forever change the dynamics of How I Met Your Mother as an entirety. Yeah. It's just a great episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that we, like we said in the last episode, the previous episode, it was a good episode, but it wasn't like a great episode.
No, not by any means.
I consider this a great episode. I love this one. And
like I said in the last episode, and I'll reiterate it here, I watched episodes 4, 5, and 6 together to prepare for when we were going to record for episode 4. And we were going to do 5 and 6, and then some technological shit happened, and we couldn't. But the kicker about it is that I watched 4, 5, and 6 really quickly to get them back and refreshed in my mind. Yeah. And right as we went to record 4, I was like, what was episode 5 all about? And then I was like, oh, yeah, it's a Vogue.
Sure.
But, I mean, and then I'm like, this one, though, I can't ever forget this episode.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a classic. It's just one of those, when people kind of talk about the highlights of this show, I think Slutty Pumpkin is definitely up there.
I have a few things that as we're going through this, I know you like to this is what happened, we'll talk about. I got a couple little things, though, that as you're doing the tidbitty things, I've got a couple little interjections for there.
Well, I'm excited to hear when they come up. All right.
I can't wait.
So the Slutty Pumpkin aired originally on October 24th of 2005, directed by, yet again, Pamela Fryman, like we've been saying, written by Brenda Hsueh. I don't know how to say her name. Hsueh, Hsueh. I'm sorry, Brenda. I'm butchering your last name.
Just call her Brenda H.
But you know what? You made a great episode. So,
this is great.
Rock on.
Great episode.
Yeah. So the summary for this episode, Ted goes to a Halloween party hoping to reunite with a girl he met 4 years ago. Barney tries to convince him to ditch that party for a better one. Marshall and Lily go on a double date with Robin and her boyfriend.
Now, do you remember what the better party is?
I do, and it is in the notes. We will.
Oh, okay.
We will talk about it when we get there. So, as I tend to do, I have some side notes before we get into the actual episode for this one. This is the first time that the nicknames Marshmallow, Lilypad, and the Barnacle are used. All three of those nicknames used for the first time right here. This is also the first time Barney's magic tricks are shown.
Yes.
And this is the first of 2 episodes where future Ted uses the word weed instead of sandwich. The other episode being How Lily Stole Christmas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The one of the things that I think is really funny about this episode with your notes is that Yes, it's the first time we actually hear the term marshmallow and lily pad. Mm-hmm. You could not convince me they weren't calling themselves that before this episode. It was just the first time they happened to think about like filming it. As a couple though, I'm going to assume Marshall and Lily were calling themselves that forever.
I would almost venture to say they'd probably been calling themselves that since pretty close to the beginning of their relationship.
I could see that.
I wouldn't be shocked about that.
But I do love that this is the actual first time that Barney refers to himself as the Barnacle, and Ted straight looks him in the face. He's like, "That's it, the Barnacle. You're gonna go with that." And like,
yeah. It's a good one, man. It's good.
I mean, it's a clever play on the name. Like, there's not many things you can do with Barney.
Yeah.
You can be like, Barney.
Or something with, just barn, like.
The barn door is open.
Yeah, stuff like that. But
look,
I feel like it's limited.
Darrell. It's spelled like Daryl, but it's pronounced Darrell.
Darrell.
The back of your head is ridiculous.
But yeah, Barnacle's a good one. I like it.
It's different, and I like that he at least tries.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. All right, so we start off the episode, again, future Ted. It's how we start off pretty much every episode, telling his kids about Halloween 2005. It's a really short opening.
It is. They dive right into it.
Yeah, the kids don't even make any sort of like they don't say anything. It's just kind of there, It's just they're just sitting there. It's like a what do they call it? A stock shop.
Yeah, it's not one of the live footage. It's like you said, stock footage.
It's essentially the shot that they use pretty much for the rest of the in past season 2. It's essentially one of the shots they use all of the time.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. So at the bar, Lily comes in, tells everyone that hers and Marshall's costumes have come in. We don't know what the costumes are yet. They're keeping that a secret for us. Barney goes on about how women's costumes have turned toward being slutty versions of random things. And I mean, it's true. That was really kind of around that time was really when that was becoming a big thing.
Oh, absolutely.
We were doing the college kind of stuff, and we were seeing a lot of that at that time,
Yep.
Just like maids and police officers and firefighters, everything just turned into a skimpy little dress that covered pretty much nothing. And that was the costume,
Yep.
Or here's essentially some bra and panties, put on a cat ear and throw on some whiskers, and now you're a cat.
And you're a cat.
Yep, that's exactly what it was, So Robin reveals that she's seen a guy named Mike. And they've been seeing each other for the last couple of weeks. Lily convinces her to bring him, to kind of do this double date thing instead of going to the party, because at the bar they're doing a costume contest. And so she convinces her to do a double date with them. Ted comes in and tells the story of the Slutty Pumpkin because, Robin's never heard this story. But it's pretty obvious that the other 3 have heard this story a ton of times.
A ton.
As they begin reciting the story as he's telling it. And it is hilarious. We learn our very first fact about the Slutty Pumpkin, and is that she makes a drink called the Tootsie Roll, which is Kahlua and root beer. And John, you said that you have had this. Tell me, what did you think?
It tasted like coffee-flavored root beer. It did not taste like a Tootsie Roll.
That is the biggest bummer I've ever
I'm really disappointed in myself right now.
Okay.
Because I just remembered I bought root beer and had Kahlua for this occasion, and I forgot to fucking make the Tootsie Roll for this episode.
That is also a bummer.
It is. It's a real fucking kick in the balls. I told you, I had things I wanted to interject. Yeah. I was going to have my bottle of Kahlua and my root beer, and when you started talking about it, I was going to open it and be like, it was half root beer and half Kahlua, and it tasted like a Tootsie Roll. And she called it the Tootsie Roll. And I was going to take a sip. And now I feel like a fucking idiot.
And then you were going to say, that doesn't taste like a Tootsie Roll at all. Yep. I get you. I totally understand where you were going.
Well, thanks.
And just how your plans went wrong, Ted then tells all of them how everything at the party went all wrong for him. And we flash back to Halloween 2001, and it got me thinking. We learned in the pilot episode that Ted met Barney 4 years ago, which is 2001.
Yep.
Was this party before or after he met Barney? Were him and Barney actually friends yet? Was Barney at that party? I got a whole bunch of questions rolling around in my brain because we never see him. We only ever see like the inside the apartment. We don't ever actually see a whole lot of that party. So we don't see Barney ever,
Well, you and I had talked about this, and I said, I wonder if they were at that level of friendship where it was like, they're friends, but they're not super close friends. So maybe Barney was like, he was his friend, but maybe he didn't really know the story because it was one of those flash in the pan things at the time.
Yeah.
And, he does know the story, though. So I guess. Yeah,
but does he know the story from being there? Does he know the story from being told it?
Right. Yeah, they never really tell you that.
Because again, it seems like they've heard that story. So Ted has probably told other girls this story every single year.
Are you the slutty pumpkin?
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that's kind of where that's at. But yeah, that was the thought process that went through my head though. So Ted comes in, tells Lily and Marshall all about her. This is still back in 2001. We're still in that flashback. He tells them that she's a marine biologist, studied penguins in Antarctica. And Ted asks Lily where his Kit Kat is. Because apparently he had her number on that Kit Kat. Well, unfortunately for Ted, it seems Lily gave that Kit Kat out to a trick-or-treater. So Ted runs out the door, snatches the candy from a little kid dressed as Dracula, dumps it out all over the hallway floor in hopes of finding that Kit Kat. And I got to say, John, I saw this and I was like, Ted just completely destroyed that kid's Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no way that kid's going off and having a happy Halloween for the rest of that night.
No.
Like that is a traumatic little experience right there. As a kid who was candy snatched when he was younger, that was a terrible time.
I don't know if you noticed this or not, but when they show that part of the scene and he's talking about it, that kid is the only kid that could have had the candy bar. Only one kid is at the door during the entire interaction before Ted's like, hey, where's my Kit Kat? And Lily's like, well, there's a lot of other candy there. And he's like, no. And he instantly goes out the door. Mm-hmm. It's not like there was a group of kids and then that kid. It was just that kid and his mom. So where'd the fucking Kit Kat go?
Part of me wonders, did Marshall eat it?
I could see that.
Did Lily eat it?
Did the mom take it and put it in her pocket?
Maybe. Who knows? She's like, ooh, a fucking Kit Kat.
Right?
Yoink. You don't need that, kid. Mine.
And then, of course, you're not going to think about that Kit Kat in your pocket as your kid's getting attacked and his bag's fucking shredded.
Yeah, and even if you do think about it, you ain't going to give it to this psycho.
Right?
He's already destroyed that candy bag. Yeah. That's a good pull there, John. Good pull.
Thanks.
Back at the bar, Ted says he never found the number and he never saw her again.
And he never saw her again. But she didn't kill herself.
She did not.
She just went on to better things.
It's true. Better than Ted.
She found greener pastures.
It's true. But he always goes back to that rooftop party every single year in hopes to find the Slutty Pumpkin.
Dressed, though, as the Hanging Chad, because that's what she'd recognize.
Yes. Yeah, the friggin' Hanging Chad.
And I didn't really think about this until you just said that. That was an 01 party. This is 05, which means this is the 4th year after the initial. So year 5, or no, this is the 4th year.
Yeah.
And he is going up there.
Well, no. So he wore that costume in 2001. This is the 5th year because it's 2005.
Oh, you're right.
So he will have worn that for 5 separate times.
Fucking years.
Yeah.
First off, where does he keep it that it stays in such great shape, or does he make a new one every year?
That's a good question. Yeah, because that thing, it looks pristine,
Pristine. There's no rips, there's no tears, there's no stains.
No crumpled corners, nothing.
No crumpled corners.
The actual hanging Chad is still hanging, with no issue. I feel like he must remake it. He must.
He's got to do something, but I mean, again, maybe I'm just overlooking it, but I thought it was just kind of a cool thing to think about.
And for those of you kids out there, for you Gen Zers who may not know what the hell a hanging Chad is, this was from the 2000 election. It was Al Gore and I think Bush.
Jebediah?
No, not Jebediah. And that it was, I think it was Florida. And so you had to punch out to vote. You had to punch out the little perforated box. And there were apparently a bunch of instances where people didn't fully punch them out. And so the thing was hanging and it would cause issues when they were tabulating the votes, when they put them through the machines. So it was those were the hanging Chads, those little pieces of the perforated box that didn't fully come off. That's why it's there. Yeah.
I'm learning something new too, because I did not know that.
Yep. Oh yeah. I learned all about that in high school. I remember, and it was such a big thing. Yeah. So there's your history lesson, folks. The hanging Chad.
You heard it from Josh.
You did. And I'm sure you could Google it for yourself.
I mean, you could.
But I'm here to tell you anyways. So back at the bar, Ted says, or like I said, he says he never found the number, never saw her again. Which I find it's so funny to me because he obviously never got her name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which a lot of the stuff after him meeting her doesn't add up.
Yeah. It's like I don't even think he saw her face.
As far as we're aware, no.
Really, dude? You're going after this, you don't even know what she looks like.
Essentially, he's going after the thought of someone.
Yeah.
Because as far as we know from what we're told, doesn't know her name, doesn't know what she looks like. He doesn't even know it was a woman under that. Yeah. Well, no, I guess he would, because they did talk.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have no idea how tall she is, how short she is. She's into penguins, she likes this drink, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. That's it. And that was enough for him to waste the last 5 years or 4 years or whatever.
Years.
Yeah. Going to this party looking for her.
And it's not the last party he goes to dressed as the hanging Chad either.
Nope. So yeah, it's a sad state of affairs sometimes for little Teddy boy, little Teddy Mosby. Yeah,
but for the people who don't, I'm going to quote Marshall on this one. For the people who don't understand what a hanging Chad is, how bad is that of a oh God, I can't remember the line now. I fucked it up. But he's like, how bad is that? How is that bad of a social statement on our?
Oh yeah. He's like, it's a sad statement on our political climate or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It really is.
I mean, we just saw it. You didn't even know what it was. So no. That means that it wasn't properly taught to most people. I mean, really, I guarantee you a lot of people have no idea what it is.
Oh, probably not.
So we head to the apartment where Ted is on the couch on his laptop, and then out come Marshall and Lily to reveal their couple's costume. I'm just gonna flat out say it. It's Jack Sparrow.
It's Jack Sparrow.
Now, it's never actually stated that he's Jack Sparrow. And throughout the episode, they do a running gag about the costume essentially being referred to as a gay pirate.
Gay pirate.
But seeing as the first Pirates movie came out in 2003, the sequel came out in 2006. The sequel had finished filming by the time the events of this episode, had come out. So it was obviously already people knew that there was a sequel coming out. I feel like it's an extremely safe assumption to say.
Oh, so safe.
That Marshall plus all the ones that Robin references it's all Jack Sparrow.
All Jack.
Yeah, 100%. I have no problem, assuming that. And I'll be honest, he made a bitchin' Jack Sparrow.
He did.
Yo, dude, like it was an awesome. He looked awesome, and Marshall obviously felt real confident in that costume every time.
He even did some eyeliner.
He loved that shit. He was loving it. So Ted reveals that again he's going to be going yet again as the Hanging Chad, just as he has for the past 4 years. He is going as that again. They're obviously a little disappointed because it's the same freaking thing. Then Ted hears some music coming from the hallway. Yeah.
This is one of the things I had ready. Because, I mean, why not, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Little Danger Zone. That's right. And when he opens up the door, Barney is standing there in a flight suit. And, big reference to Top Gun, obviously. And he tells Ted to flight suit up. He's going to be his partner.
He even quotes Top Gun.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen Top Gun.
What?
So I'm like, he says it, and I'm like, it must be a quote. I'm assuming it's a quote from the movie. I know that Danger Zone is from Top Gun. I know it's about fighter pilots. I know, Maverick is a reference to Top Gun, all that stuff. Like, I know all that stuff. I've just never seen the movie.
Oh, you're dangerous, Maverick. You're writing checks your body can't catch.
And it doesn't lose any humor with me not seeing it. It's still a great scene.
I love the way like that whole interaction. Like Ted hears the music, opens the door. Barney's like, he's got the helmet under his arm. And he's just and he's like, flight suit up, bro. And he's like, nah, I'm going dressed like this. He's like, no.
Yeah, I love the kind of change of the suit up thing for this. It was perfect.
Yes. Well, that's what I said. I get my all-time favorite suit up out of this one because I love Top Gun. It's a classic movie. Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Anthony Edwards is in there. I mean, you get a bunch of 90s big names in there, and it's a great action movie. And it's just, it's all-time classic. So to see him modify his suit up term, which we hadn't fully gotten suit ups to this point yet either.
Yeah.
I think we got a reference to it, but
I think was it the first episode where he did it 3 times?
Yeah.
He kept trying to get him.
You don't see it in anything since then.
Yeah.
And then he's just flight suit up, bro. And I'm like, boom.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good times. So Barney tells Ted that he's getting them into the Victoria's Secret Halloween party. Which I find interesting. They bring back a Victoria's Secret party. I don't think it's a Halloween party, but they bring back the Victoria's Secret party in a later episode, in the Yips episode, which I love that because they say it, and I'm like, I'm picturing that episode, I'm like, they don't actually go there, right? I'm like, no, because that's the Yips episode. That's definitely not this one.
Episode.
Yeah. As I was watching it, I was kind of going back and forth in my mind like that. I'm like, that means they brought that back, which I think is awesome. That Barney's able to get them into it more than once. You know what I mean? He's got the hookup somehow. We don't know what he does, but he's got the hookup. So then Robin shows up, makes some Hanging Chad puns, which Ted seemed to like. And again, showing that kind of relationship between Ted and Robin, how that banter is still alive with them.
It's still alive.
Yeah, it's still there. Ted and Barney head out, and then we get the first of the gay pirate jokes where she talks about a bunch of gay pirates downtown when she was doing her news coverage or whatever, which I thought was funny.
Which then Marshall walks in, which is
great.
And
then Marshall just walks right in, and it's like, oh, okay, there it is. Then Robin says that she and Mike decided not to dress up. And then Mike shows up in a Hansel costume, Hansel and Gretel. And Robin tells him that she was joking and says that she needs to stop joking over email. Now, John, have you ever joked over text or email and had somebody take it the complete wrong way? I know I have.
Absolutely.
I probably have taken it the wrong way. You're probably right.
First off, I love that they use I gotta stop joking over email. Because that shows that even in 2005, text messaging hadn't come as far as it is today. People still email.
Yeah.
Second off, I really have done that because when you text something to somebody, you can't convey emotion. Yeah. All you're giving is a set of words. So you have to hope that, like, the way you phrase it and stuff like that, they can understand what you're trying to say.
That's true. Yeah, you can't. It's hard to convey, as she says. You can't convey tone. It's true. It's really difficult.
It's absolutely true.
It's very, like, sarcasm is kind of lost in the written form.
It really is.
Yeah, unfortunately. That's why a lot of times, I'll put something like /S. That's like a thing now, apparently, when you want to indicate that you're being sarcastic.
That's kind of good to know.
I've done that to people before. But the problem is, if they have no idea what that means, it does no good. You know what I mean? So now that you know what it means, I'm going to do that to you all the time.
My form of doing sarcasm is, the SpongeBob meme where he's like leant over and it's always like it's capital small, capital small, capital small, and it's like him mocking somebody.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that on Tuesday. Don't do that on Tuesday. That's kind of how I text people. Like, I'll fuck with the text like that.
Gotcha.
That's my sarcasm, or just solid cap locks.
There you go.
Because why not?
That works. So then we head to the party. Barney is bummed with the lack of women. He's like, "There's only 7 chicks here." And then some dude takes a wig off.
Yeah.
He's like, 6 chicks. I thought that was great. I was like, Barney probably would have gone and tried to hit on that dude if he hadn't taken the wig off. It would have been hilarious. Then an a cappella group called the Shagarats begins singing. I tried Googling it. It doesn't seem like they're an actual group. It kind of bummed me out. I was hoping that the Shagarats. Go
ahead, Josh. Sing it.
Group. I don't want to sing it.
Sing it.
You're the singer in the family. You sing it.
My body lies over the ocean. My body lies over the sea. My body lies over the ocean. So bring back my Bonnie to me. That's all you get.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? We got to pay. It's true. So Barney pulls out some booze and just starts chugging. He can't handle this.
Whole bottle of Jaeger at that, though.
Yeah. I mean, I have to assume it's Jaeger because that's the bottle. That's what it looks like. I don't think there was a label on it, but I
don't think there was either.
That's fairly it's pretty unmistakable bottle. Jaeger is disgusting. I don't know how Barney would do that, but hey, good for him.
It tastes like black licorice, man.
It does, and I hate black licorice. So back at the bar, Lily, Marshall, Robin, and Mike are having their double date. Marshall is telling some kind of cheesy pirate jokes. They're like dad jokes, centered around pirates.
But they're funny.
They are funny, but I'm a dad, so they're funny to me. As everyone is eating.
A pirate's favorite restaurant.
Arby's.
That's what you think.
Yes,
but
I think it was
Long John
Arby's.
Silver's.
Yeah, I love him. Then he drops the accent. But it's actually Long John Silver's. I love that. So as everyone is eating, we learn that Robin and Mike are not as in sync as Robin may want people to believe. She's obviously not into being in a relationship. Then back at the party, the Shagarats are wrapping up this part of their set, and Barney approaches a woman and pulls a weak ass line out about getting laid.
Dude, she's so fucking weak.
She's in like a Hawaiian getup, wearing flower lace, and hey, what does a guy got to do to get laid around here? Something stupid like that. And I'm like, oh, come on, Barney. I like you can be pretty cringy sometimes, but like you're better than that. Like, come on, man.
I agree with you on this one because it's Barney.
Yeah.
So because of this, I wrote a very much more Barney-ish, but yet still professional pickup line. You ready for this?
Okay.
Hey, I see you're from Hawaii. You want to go find a beach and get laid up together?
I mean, that has more thought to it than the one he pulled out.
I mean, I don't know what
he just went straight for it.
Straight for it.
Like, wasn't trying at all. Yeah.
Like, it's really sad because, like, that's a real, like...
And it happens again later.
Well, yeah, but that's explained why, though, too, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, but the second one he does, it's almost just as bad.
No, it's worse.
Okay, fair
It's
enough.
fucking worse.
But he starts off almost like he's going to try, and then I feel like he just goes right down.
I almost feel like Halloween is a hard time to pick up women because if you're only relying on what their costume is, then you've got a 50-50 chance of fucking getting it. Because what if somebody's dressed as something that, like, ooh, okay, like that girl, you've got the delays. So yeah, let's go for the delayed comment. But what if it had come off like creepy? Like they do the thing later on with the captain where like happy, creepy, happy, creepy. And it's it wasn't the captain. It was the it's when Ted first meets Janelle. It's how it's proposed. Oh, and like they talk about like the Lily Marshall song.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And that could have come off almost like Ted Bundy-ish.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, want to get laid? Like, or what's a guy got to do to get laid around here? Like that could come off so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Yet she just kind of like fucking. She's like, and walks away.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It could come off way worse, depending on how you say it. Absolutely.
Sorry, I got off on a tangent on that one.
Nah, that's cool. So Barney is annoyed that from being there. He tells Ted that they should bail and reiterates that they could be at the Victoria's Secret party because it's on a yacht.
It's on a yacht.
And what could be sticking to the yacht? The barnacle. Yeah, that's right. The barnacle. And he is going with that one.
Like I said earlier, I just love how Ted's like, the barnacle. That's what you're going to go with.
Yep.
He's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. Like,
all right. So then we go to the bathroom at the bar. Lily confronts Robin about whether or not she's actually into Mike and tells her that if she doesn't change her behavior, she's going to lose him. And it's interesting because Robin seemed rather shocked at this statement.
Yeah.
Like what? What are you talking about? Why would I lose him? I thought it was an interesting reaction for her.
Well, I mean, we know Robin to be a career woman at this point. We don't know Robin the dater at this point.
It's true.
And this is how I'm going to justify this one, at least for my own prospect, is that what we come to find out about Robin later on and the way she was brought up like a guy. Her dad didn't want a daughter, so she was pretty much raised as a son. The fact that she has to work for everything she has. It's not like it's things were just given to her. So she's not a real like groupie person, which is always why even when the five of them are together, she's always the spare tire. It's Ted and Barney and Marshall and Lily, and Robin just happens to fit in periodically.
Yeah.
So when it comes to her dating life, it actually doesn't shock me that she'd be like, what? Like, because I can see her just kind of being like, well, I'm doing the girly thing. Like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. It's like, we're sleeping together. Isn't that enough? Like,
and because we had already passed the point where they did the dinner scene. We're getting ready to go into the dessert part. And you clearly can tell when, like, they're doing the dinner scene. I'm not going to lie. There are times where, like, I've been on a date and somebody's like, oh, you should try my meal. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm really enjoying this. Yeah. And I don't want to ruin the palate of what I'm eating with what could possibly be like a whole nother taste. I
100% agree. Like he was like trying to shove that. Like it's like, if she wants a bite of your food, let her she'll ask. You know what I mean?
And that's it. Like
if she says no, thank you, fucking let it go, dude.
Like I don't think Marshall and Lily ever. Because, like, they were playing it off really cute. Like Marshall's like, Lily's like, I think your meal won tonight. And he's like, yeah, it might be. But your rice pilaf kicked my spinach right in the balls. Yeah. Or something along that. And I'm like.
They've been together for years.
So,
like, Robin and this dude, they've been dating for, like, 2 weeks. And this guy is, like, acting like they've been together forever, you know, trying to like just dude, like take it down a notch. Like I see where Robin is coming from. I do see at times where he's coming from, like, but I feel like it needs to be somewhere in the middle between the two of them. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. Well, the only reason I went back to the dinner is because then they flash forward to the dessert thing.
Yeah.
Who paid for the dessert? Because it's never actually said.
Yeah, I don't know who paid for it. It's obvious that Robin ordered it because it was set down in front of her specifically. Yeah, I don't know who. Part of me feels like Robin's not. Part of me feels like Robin would want to pay for herself because of how independent she is.
Well, because the only reason I bring that up is she straight out says to Lily in the bathroom, "Well, I hope he wants the brownie sundae."
Yeah.
So then they get the brownie sundae in like, if this beer represents their sundae, and she's like eating it, and then she's like, "Okay, I'll be nice. Here's your bite," and she's like, "Here you go, Mike," and then he takes it and he's like, "Yeah, Marshall and Lily. By the way, blah 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 blah. There's fucking ice cream in that sundae, dude. Stop running your mouth off and eat the fucking ice cream." Yeah,
seriously, that shit's gonna melt. It's not like it's just a brownie.
Sorry though, again, off on a tangent.
Nah, man, it's all good. It's all good. So we go back to the party. Barney is there in a new costume. He's now dressed as a devil.
Dressed as a devil.
Yep. Ted says that he has to use the bathroom. Barney tells him he should just pee off the roof. Some dude in an angel costume comes up and says, "No, man, you shouldn't do that. There's people walking down there." And we get that classic angel and devil on the shoulder shot, which I thought was really, really funny. And then Barney like tells the guy off, and he's like, "Hey, man, I don't really care." Yeah, he's like, "You got any weed, man?" And again, man, they're not saying sandwiches. Just saying.
They didn't start doing sandwiches until later on.
I know, but which I love that. I can't wait till we get to talk about the sandwiches. That's good stuff. So then back at the bar, Robin taking a picture that looks like Lily is perched on Marshall's shoulder, which was hilarious. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It looked great too. The way they had it.
What's really funny? Go back on YouTube and watch that clip, and then watch the guy that Lily is like perched in front of at the bar.
Okay.
He's fucking just staring her down.
Oh, like, really?
He's drinking his hands, and he's just kind of like, fucking get down off the bar, trying to like sit here.
I need to go back and watch that. That's hilarious. So then they sit down, like we talked about, for their desserts. Robin begrudgingly shares her sundae with Mike, and even tries out a nickname for him, Microwave Oven. And she is incredibly uncomfortable with all of it.
Oh, all of it.
So uncomfortable. She's trying though, but you can tell she does not want to be doing that.
You know what I thought a funny costume would have been for them instead of Hansel and Gretel in this one?
What?
If she'd have talked him into dressing up as Batman.
Cut.
Batman and Robin.
That would have been kind of awesome.
I thought about this as I was watching the episode, and I was like, oh, man.
I want to know, like, why even the joke about Hansel, like, why Hansel and Gretel? You know what I mean?
Well, especially because they're brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get why people do couples costumes. Like, don't get me wrong. We went to a Halloween party one year where it was entirely themed.
Yep.
And I thought that was epic. And there was, like, cool crossover there. But never are you dating somebody and dress up as their fucking sister.
No, that's weird. I mean, I've done couples costumes, I've done family costumes, but yeah, the brother sister thing, that's just if you're dating, that's just weird to me. Yeah, like why would you do that? And like, part of me thinks she said it just because like she thought it would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
and that's why it was a joke. And then when he shows up dressed as Hansel, it's definitely ridiculous.
It is definitely. Yeah. Ridiculous.
All right, so we get back we go back to the roof. Barney, as the devil, goes to talk to the girl in the grass skirt. The convo starts off real well. He seems like he's being smooth this time.
He is.
But it doesn't last long as he pulls out another weak ass line. saying that he's horny and points to his horns. It's like, come on, man. That's some low-hanging fruit right there.
Again, though, cringy.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Because, like, the whole interaction between the two of them, like you said, it goes smooth.
Yeah.
He's like, let me guess. Everybody's tried the laid blind. And she's like, yeah. And then, like, they banter. And then she's like, oh, you're a clever devil. And he's like, I'm also a horny devil.
Yeah.
It's like, first off, though, how did she not realize, though? Because I get, like, before it was aviators and then it was like a half mask. How did she at least not realize she was talking to the same guy?
Who knows? She's probably drunk, to be honest.
Probably.
It's funny because, like, even the guy dressed as the angel just starts laughing at him, you know, when she blows him off, which I thought was really funny.
I love how Barney responds to him, go to hell.
Yeah. But, like, as we'll talk about later on in the Barney's blog section, we find out in that section about a previous year's party. And you know, the number of ladies that he was able to hook up with, you know. And you know, after I read the blog, I was like, if he was able to do that, what the hell was going on this year? Was he tanking it in hopes that he could convince Ted to go to this Victoria's Secret party? Was there some like I don't understand what was going on. Like, he's supposed to be this like ladies' man, you know what I mean? We find out later on he sleeps with like 250 plus women, and like he can't get even one number at this party. Like, and he's pulling out lines like that. Like, come on. Like, it seems to me he just wasn't actually trying very hard. I don't know.
I think you're right, though. I think it's more of, you know, he wanted to really go to the fucking Victoria's Secret party. Yeah. So tank out as much as you can until you really got to pull out the big guns.
Yeah. So back at the bar, things begin to fall apart for Robin. She continues to kind of fight the couple stuff, arguing about the use of the word we, and then just demolishing that entire Sunday while Mike is and it's just like, wow, Robin. Like, you thought that was the way to go? Like,
dude, it's such a low moment for her.
It is. It's so petty because they're going back and she's just like, he's I don't even remember what. I think she says, oh, is that somebody or whatever? I don't know what she says. And then she just grabs it and just starts shoveling Sunday into her. I'm just like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's so obvious that she just doesn't want this, you know? You know, and Mike gets fed up and he goes to leave and you know, Robin's just like, it's like, how oblivious is she to all of it, you know?
I mean, obviously pretty oblivious because, like, once they start to have the spat right here, she's like, well, I thought we could go back to your apartment. And, you know, he's like, we aren't going anywhere.
Yeah. He's like, we, she's like, are you breaking up with me? He's like, no, we are, or she says, are we breaking up? And he's like, we aren't breaking up. I'm breaking up with you. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's so fucking savage, man. Yeah. He just fucking, he was done, man. Well, he was trying so hard throughout a lot of it. Now, granted, he was being, to me, in my opinion, a bit too, like, couple clingy, you know?
I completely agree.
But he was trying, whereas Robin was doing the opposite.
Yeah.
And he was fed up.
Well, I mean, even though he was being clingy and Robin was, each of them were right in their own aspects of this. There's no one was right, one was wrong. It was presented in a very weird way, but both of them were, like I said, Robin's upbringing, everything, him being a little clingy. We don't really know how long they were dating, but it's like a couple weeks, obviously.
Yeah.
First off, dude, you're like, you got to back off just a hair. Second off, right as she's like, I thought we'd go back to your place tonight and follow the bread trails and see where it goes, or the breadcrumbs, and see where it goes. She literally just said she's gonna fuck you. Break up with her tomorrow. Fuck her tonight.
Yeah, I mean, guy was apparently just over it. You know, he was over it.
I don't blame him, but I mean, I'm just saying, man, use your head. Like
Barney would say, get your breakup sex in. You know? Yeah. Because I feel like if Barney was there, he would have been very disappointed in that guy.
You broke up with a stripper?
No, a porn star. You broke up with a porn star? Friendship over. Oh, come on, Barney. Friendship over. Anyways, back at the party, Ted still hopeful that the Slutty Pumpkin will show up. Barney gets fed up, leaves, and Ted sees someone in a penguin costume mixing some Kahlua and some root beer. He approaches, asks if they're the girl from the party. He kind of describes it. And he gets real excited. And then they take off the head, and it's none other than Barney. He had returned to the party just to mess with Ted.
Just to mess with Ted.
Yep. And as they're kind of standing there talking, Barney's making it. He doesn't have the head on anymore. He's making himself a drink. The girl in the grass. He reveals that he scored the number from the girl in the grass skirt.
Yeah.
So, third time he finally got it, and then she sees him without the penguin mask on.
Yeah.
And demands the number back, and he refuses.
Yeah, I want it fair and square.
Yeah. So what I'm curious, he goes to call her. How's that all going to shake up? Do you think he's got enough pull to actually convince her to go out with him?
That one in specifically, I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Because there is a line of dialect that they put in there where he's like, well, I'm going to call you anyway. She's like, well, I'm not going to answer. He goes, how are you going to know it's me?
Yeah.
She's going to get the phone call. They might set up a date because she doesn't know. He might be able to work some magic to get a date, but as soon as he shows up there, it's over.
Yeah. It's unless he's just give me a chance. Give me a chance. You know what I mean? He pulls some Barney magic, and I feel like he could do it.
I feel like at this point, though, in the Barney Stinson that we know, you remember the episode where him and Nora have the fight and he vows not to leave the restaurant until Nora gives him a second date?
Yeah.
We wouldn't see that Barney Stinson at this point in the show.
No, we would not.
He's not that Barney yet.
No. Yeah, if he strikes out again, you're probably right. He would just move on with it.
Yep.
But I would hope for his own sake that he would try something better than a cringy, weak-ass line like he did all night.
You would hope so. But I also don't think at this point in his Barnitude that he would grovel to try and get a date.
That's true. Though he may, I don't know how long he was working on the playbook. He may have some sort of play in mind at that point. Who knows?
And I could see that. I could see him trying to work a play on the girl and be like, look, you met my twin brother or whatever.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Yeah. But you know what, John? We never see her again.
Because she probably fucking killed herself.
It's true.
Everybody in that party, besides Barney and Ted, are never seen from again because they probably, you know what, in this instance, the punch was probably spiked.
It probably was. They all drank the Kool-Aid. So,
domestic.
It's true. Back at the bar, Robin claims she's fine. And I don't, they don't dive into it too much, but I really don't think Lily buys it just from the look on her face. But then it's revealed that Lily and Marshall win the costume contest, and we get our second gay pirate joke where Lily Aldrin as Parrot, Marshall Erickson as gay pirate. He's like, yes. He's like, wait, what did you say? He's like, you're wearing eyeliner, dude. He's like, I thought it looked good.
Well, one of the things that I think is funny that we didn't mention as we got to it in the episode is that the costume contest was for $100 grand prize.
Yeah.
And they spent $100 each.
Yeah.
On their costumes.
Yeah. And it's $100 at the bar.
$100 at the bar.
Yeah.
And the way that the five of them are always at the bar, that's 2 rounds each.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That'll be gone in a night easily.
Yeah, an hour.
That's true. Yeah. But hey, $100 is $100, I guess. You know what I mean? And if you have a good time, hey, I guess you had a good time. Oh, which I think is hilarious.
Or was it a $50 cash prize?
Oh,
No, it was a $50.
You're right. You're right. It was.
Because
It was
then
50.
Lily's like, because then they were like, well, how much was your costumes? $100 each.
Each. Yeah. Then it says as Robin takes their picture, you can kind of tell that she's beginning to understand what a real couple looks like. You can see it on her face. She's kind of, it seems like she kind of realizes this is what she wants when she decides to actually have a relationship. She wants something like that. Whether she's ready or not, that's totally up to her. But then we go back to the roof, and this is where the A and B stories finally connect with one another. Yeah, we get Ted sitting there. Robin comes up. They talk about both their failed nights, and they try to comfort one another. They sit down together and just enjoy the night as the episode fades to black. And that is the Slutty Pumpkin episode. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel the need for speed.
Hopefully YouTube don't flag us for that.
That's why I made them really quick.
Yep.
I don't want us getting fucking pulled. But listen, this overall, because I know your next question. Any final comments? This episode, by far, the way it all ties together, plays out. The way the A story and the B story are so different. Because, I mean, usually at least they're not similar, but it makes sense. Like, the last episode we talked about how Marshall and Lily are trying to settle down and be the couple who can do other couples things, while Ted and Barney are still in their party phase. And it's like a mirror. Yeah. This one doesn't mirror. This one's completely fucking different stories. You got Ted trying to find somebody, Barney trying to just be his horn dog self and go to a fucking Victoria's Secret party, and you've got Marshall and Lily trying to convince Robin that being a couple is not that bad. Yeah. The way it all comes back together in the melding pot to show you that moment of Ted and Robin sitting on the roof makes this episode by far one of my all-time favorites. Because this is the moment where I think Ted realizes, like, Robin's really the girl he wants to be with, and there's going to be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's going to try for Robin again. Yeah,
no, I definitely see that. And yeah, this doesn't the A and B don't mirror each other, but they do share similar kind of like topics, I guess you could say, where because it's all about relationships. You've got the A story about the single life, and searching for that person, whether it's the way Barney goes about it, whether it's the way Ted goes about it. But then you have the B story, which deals with the couple life.
That's true.
With Marshall.
You are absolutely correct about that.
So like, they're kind of like showing these two sides and how for both Ted and Robin, things just don't work out. For them and in either of their nights, and that's what kind of brings them together at the end, which I liked. I like how they kind of work that together.
A really good shot of them too, because like the roof doesn't come into a lot of play during like later seasons.
No, yeah,
it's like the first few, like let's go hang out on the roof, or let's go, let's just show a quick.
I feel like the roof is really like a thing in the first season, because like we've already seen it a few times,
Yeah.
And
well, it definitely comes back again during. I think it's the end of season 1 where Marshall does the jump.
If that's the end of season 1, then yeah.
But then again, I mean, of course, we're going to see it during the episode where Ted makes it rain, which is season 1.
We see it in the Smoker episode.
But that's a later season too.
Yeah, we see it in a few, but I feel like it's more so in season 1, and they use it less and less throughout the rest of the show.
It's kind of like its own character in a way.
Yeah, I like the roof. I think there's fun stuff that they can, I wish they did more with it, personally.
You know what I like?
What do you like, John?
The elevator.
Yeah, you do. Why is that?
Because it goes up and down.
You know what else goes up and down, John?
My blood pressure?
Barney's blog!
Good segue, bro.
I don't know how accurate that is, but I'm going with it. All right. So this blog, it's a long one. I'll be honest with you. He says a lot in this one. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing or anything like that because it would take a while. But it is titled Halloween Sluts. It is dated Monday, October 24th, 2005 at, I'm going to ask you if you recognize this time, 4:36 a.m. Do you remember that time?
No.
Does that ring any bells?
No.
Last episode, we talked about Barney's blog. And and you remember how there were 3 blog posts?
Yeah.
The last blog post,
the one from the review of OK Go,
was at 4:36 a.m.
No shit.
Yeah, because like I was looking at these, I was researching them kind of back to back.
Yeah,
and I was like, wait a minute, did they just reuse the same time for this blog? And they did. 4:36 a.m. It's like 9 days later, but at that exact same time. And again, it's after a party.
Wow, though. Think about that, though. Between the 2 blogs, 9 days.
Yeah.
They have a busy little lifestyle here in Manhattan.
Right? They go to this crazy party. 9 days later, they're doing the Halloween party. Man, it's just all kinds of stuff. Barney's striking out both times. But so this blog, it details the events, or at least what the events that Barney could remember from Halloween of 2004, so the previous year.
Okay.
He talks about how he donned 4 different Halloween costumes, which were a Viking, Theodore Roosevelt, a ninja, and what he calls his go-to Gandhi. Yeah,
that is interesting.
Which I kind of wish he had wore Gandhi in this episode, because it was he calls it his old standby, is what he calls it.
But that's really funny because it's his old standby. Yeah, there's 2 Halloween episodes specifically, and at least the Return of the Slutty Pumpkin, which isn't a Halloween episode, and we don't see Gandhi in either one of them.
No, we never. I feel like they probably thought that would be crossing a line to have him dress up like Gandhi.
Yeah, but they could have even done a line of dialogue.
Yeah, hey, they could have
dressed up as Gandhi this year.
Yeah, they could have, and that actually would. I think that would have been pretty cool and a good way to tie it in here. But so he talks about how, like I said, he dresses up in these 4 different costumes, like how we saw in this episode. He did 3, and that he scored 4 different girls' phone numbers.
Wow!
But he can't remember whose numbers are whose.
Oh no!
Yeah, so he creates this like data matrix chart thing to try and figure out which girl was with which costume that he was dressed as, so he can link it to the phone numbers that he has. And the 4 girls were dressed up as a slutty Cinderella, a slutty slut. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is it just like some chick in lingerie and that's it? You know what I mean?
Probably.
Yeah. A slutty nun and a slutty creature with ears and a tail. That's how he describes it. Could be anything.
Cat, dog, mouse.
Yeah.
elephant.
And so he goes through, he has what he labeled as his booze clues, or at least what I remember. So he had 5 clues that would help him to figure all this out. His first one was, I didn't wake up in my ninja costume, but I know I ended the night with some tail. 2, the slutty slut was gone by November 1st, so she missed Gandhi. She, too, would go hungry. 3, both Cinderella and the nun were intrigued by my sword. I was still seeing throwing stars as I changed into Viking. 4, when I first entered the party, I spoke softly to hotties and showed them my big stick. Politically appropriate, yo. I was dressed as Teddy Roosevelt. And 5, I got Cinderella's number early. I was afraid her melons would turn into pumpkins at midnight. So, he takes all that information. Like I said, he does this whole chart thing where he figures it out. He figures out that the slutty slut was the first one he got the number from with Teddy Roosevelt. The slutty Cinderella was second with the ninja. Slutty nun was 4th with the Viking. And the slutty creature with the ears and tail was 4th with Gandhi. And apparently, this whole the logic puzzle that he does here is also included in the Bro Code book.
Oh my God, it is.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of neat. So so that's this week's episode of or this week's edition of Barney's blog. So thoughts on that blog post.
Dude, that's actually really, I mean, I'm really glad that, like, but sad at the same time that when I watched the show, I didn't know the blog existed, nor did I know a lot of, like, the cool other made up websites were there, because I missed out on a lot of that until I'd finished the show. And then I started realizing a lot of this stuff existed. And I didn't know Barney's blog was real until I sent you the link the one night because we were talking about it. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, the link is still available to Barney's blog. Like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, and the How I Met Your Mother fandom wiki page has all of the posts.
Yeah.
So, like, you go to each episode, and there's a link to that blog post for. That's how I get them. Yeah. So it's real. Like, they did a real good job of kind of putting them all together, getting them in there. And there's blog posts for almost every episode.
Almost.
So we'll be doing this. I don't know what we're going to do the first time there isn't one. We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe we'll do an episode of You Just Got Slapped.
Man, there's gonna be some fun stuff coming down the pipe in this for this show. So I'm excited.
Euphemism?
But it's always a euphemism when it comes to me. So John, let everybody know where they can find you on this fine day.
You can find me on Twitter. Follow me at JP Rayner. That's RAYNOR.
You forgot the JP.
I said JP.
Yeah, but you said that's RAYNOR.
No, on a serious note, ladies and gentlemen, if you go look up my Twitter account, it's right here. It is at Simply Sane J1. It follows my independent podcast, which I call Simply Sane with Jay. I haven't recorded a podcast in a while. I really need to get back around to that. I want to get my fans back involved with me, but I've honestly been focusing on started a peer support group. It's called Fine, and I'm trying to really focus on helping some friends right now instead of helping myself. I'm also on Facebook. You can email me, hit me up. You want to shoot the shit? Let's do it. Josh, where can the ladies and gentlemen find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at, as John said, JP Rayner. That's JP RAYNOR, as well as right down there at Movie Blog Merc. That is the Twitter page for my site, Merc for the Movie Blog. And of course, you can follow Last Call at McLaren's on Twitter at Last Call HIMYM. That's Last Call HIMYM. For those of you who are like, what does that mean? It's How I Met Your Mother, you damn fool. Come on.
And again, if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't watched an episode of How I Met Your Mother, why are you listening?
Exactly. Maybe you just love our awesome faces. And if that's the case, hit up John. He's looking.
Mingle, ready to mingle.
He is mingle worthy.
If I was going to describe myself on a dating website, I'd say I'm a good mixture of a Ted and a Barney. I can be a total sleazebag with a fucking really bad tendency to try to pick you up. But I'm the guy you definitely want to take home to your parents. I like long walks on the beach, and I'm a Taurus. And I can cook, clean, sew, and do laundry. But
does he? Probably not.
Know. What?
I said, but does he? Probably not.
Things I don't like. John Cena. Josh's face.
Man.
You know.
I wish I had a picture of John Cena right now. Just saying.
I'd punch you.
I mean, through the internet.
I will drive 3 fucking hours to punch you.
And there it is, folks. Episode 6, the Slutty Pumpkin. We are done. We're gonna be coming back next week with episode 7. I am excited. John's got a pinky, and he's ready to stick it.
Do you not remember this?
I don't. What is the pinky?
Tell you off air.
It's your version
finger
of the claw?
Finger or toe, bro. No.
Oh, finger or toe.
No, it's not finger or toe.
Okay.
I'll tell you off air.
There it is. So, again, this has been Last Call at McLaren's. Yep. John, what do we got for him?
You don't have to go home, but you can't listen here. Night, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a good one.